We have heard a lot of times
Hmm.
that Lego serious play by itself it is not serious, or
Yeah.
maybe it sounds not professional. What do you think about that?
I find that I find that I can imagine a lot of my clients being really surprised by that statement. And I think they would probably go like, "What?" So we have clients that we have worked with for 10 years. We have clients that have had ongoing projects with Lego Serious Play over 12 months period, or where the same leadership team had like a whole design using this. Um, so I think they would go like, "Huh? It's not professional. Why did we then do this? Why did we keep buying it?" No, I mean, again, I think this is where people are confusing the material with it. I think it's very clear when clients come back to us in year after year after year and ask for it, then I think it's very clear. There's a I mean, I'm thinking of a couple of examples, and I remember one where for a Danish pharmaceutical, they were building a new factory. It was actually in Brazil. We worked with them for a while, and they were just setting up this factory in Brazil. And it was the largest, at that point, the largest factory that had ever built abroad. And pharmaceutical manufacturing production is a really precise line of business. So they're setting up a new factory, the largest ever, and they wanted to do it faster than they'd ever done it. And their whole kickoff planning, projecting, timelining phase here was LSP. That's how serious they took it. So they developed that using Lego Serious Play, working with us, and they delivered on time and on target. So I think that's
Hmm.
really clearly to a degree that the project manager of this, and these, I mean, they're mega program project managers. We stayed with them, and as recent as was it now is 18 months ago, for another pharmaceutical, he had been rehired to create a production facility, actually in Denmark for this one, randomly, and I can't remember how many $1 billion they was doing it for. And again, he collected the top 190 people in this, because they're super specialists, right, coming across from the entire world to do a similar kind of thing with us. So I think that really tells you some of these people investing billions and billions of dollars with high special unique global talent, when they use LSP as their go-to tool to manage these processes, I think it tells you everything. They cannot afford to fail. It's not only a question of money, it's also a question of having gathered these unique global specialists for a period of time, and they want to and they need to succeed in that amount of time. So that, I think, for me, that tells you everything about that. Hey, this is business, right? We just need
Actually.
to get everything out of the head of these people, and we need to make them fully and absolutely committed to this, let's say, timeline or this delivery. So I think it was stuff like this I would probably say to someone that brought that argument to me, or I would give the phone number of these people. Maybe that's
Yes,
easy.
please. No, but actually also makes me think about how the delivery or the uses of the method is related
Mm-hmm.
to the facilitator. What
Mm-hmm.
do you think about that? Because how serious or not, I feel that there is a relation between of the quality of the use of the method and the kind of facilitator that is delivering. It is my opinion. What do you think about that?
So that's a good point. That's a good point. That's a very good point. So absolutely, and I think there are many, when you talk about the quality of a facilitator, I think there are many different things that makes a facilitator a good facilitator. And I think it's important here to say that facilitation, when we see facilitation the way we're talking about it here, facilitation is not limited to the room. With that, I mean that the great LSP, the really good LSP Lego Series Play facilitators, their facilitation in a way starts before the workshop. It starts with them deeply understanding the client's need, not the symptoms that they're struggling with. So I think facilitation starts there. Then it leads on to understanding the steps of a particular workshop. And that then takes them to understanding what's the question they need to ask. And all of this work feeds into what they're then doing in the room. And in the room, let's call it the in-person part of the facilitation, they need, and then they are sort of, how do I say this, uh, totally present, totally present. They know when there is something that needs help keep deepening in their understanding, and they know how to hold the space. So all of these difficult things we don't normally say get said, so that those that may fear talking get to talk. So I think facilitation is that longer journey. And Gloria, if you allow me just to jump to something here, because there's also often this conversation about, can anybody facilitate a session, right?
Yeah.
And I think that the answer may, I don't know, it's not going to surprise you, but one answer is, hey, sure, absolutely. Anybody can facilitate a session. Anybody can also be a manager. Everybody can be a manager. That doesn't mean they're a good manager. It doesn't mean that they deliver. It does mean that they unlock the potential of their people. It does mean that their company is successful. But anybody can be a manager. Every single person can be a manager. Sure.
Depending the quality that you're looking for.
But that's a different conversation. You don't have to go to business school to be a manager. You don't have to be clever to be a manager. You don't have to be respectful to be a manager. You don't have to have a degree of anything to be a manager. Everybody can be a manager. Sure. That's not a protected title. And it's the same thing with Lego Series Play. Sure. Everybody can tell you that they do workshops with Lego Series Play. Absolutely. Every single person can do that. Does that mean that they're good at it? Does it mean that they know what they're doing? Does it mean that they deliver quality? Does it mean you should trust them? Absolutely not. So just like with managers, when we are hiring someone, we need to talk to them, we need to interview them. Maybe we look at which school they went to, so we get a sense of what did they learn. Then we choose to hire them. And it's the exact same thing here, right? Facilitation managers, they're not protected titles, so anybody can claim that they're that.
I love your answer. Let's make another video to answer about the difference between being a facilitator, a good one or a not good one. So to set some distinctions about it.
Mm-hmm.
Do you like to do that?
Absolutely.
So let's record another video to answer that question.